So what we're going to show here is how to create a drill plan. Now, traditionally, this drill plan is the goal or the purpose of it is to be sent out to our DPS 900 system on the drill rig, so that the driller is actually drilling this plan that we establish in Business Center, and then when they drill those holes, they're recording where they drill those. We can bring that information back in the Business Center and do a QA or a quality check. This example, I'm just going to show you how to create the drill plan. What's nice about this maybe from a takeoff standpoint is that you can get an estimate of what it's going to cost to actually, not only value of cost, but also time of what it's going to take to actually drill and blast for these rocks, or at least drill for the rock that's on our site. So it's pretty simple. You need to have a rock surface, in our case, and a finished design surface like we've created from our stratum and our boring logs. We're going to create a drill plan, and on that drill plan there's a couple different options. We have boundary and we have corridor. So if I use the boundary, we can just do a boundary around, let's say, this area, and then we could use a corridor option in the road where we got to blast out for this. Alright, so I'm going to do a boundary. We'll give it a name, drill plan. We'll just call it drill plan site, and let's go ahead and put it on a layer called drill plan. So I think we have one here. If we don't, we'll just go ahead and make one. So we'll just come in here and we'll say drill plan. The colors don't matter, that's fine. Let's just put it, we'll put it in we'll protect it, and we'll put it in our site improvement, or we'll just put it in site layers for now. Okay, so if we take a look under site layers, our layer group here, we got drill plan is turned on. Our design surface is going to be our finished design. We could do finished design with subgrade adjustments, because we are, stripping out some of this topsoil down. For accommodating for the over-X, we could do that, but you just pick your finished design surface and then the rock surface. So we're going to go ahead and select that for the rock. If we pick the boundary, we would pick, you could pick this entire area in here, okay, which is the edge break line, or we could identify and create a boundary within our project. So if the boundary doesn't exist, one you can't select, then you want to come over here and you want to create a line string or a boundary. Okay, so if I click on boundary, I can choose, we'll call this site drill plan. It doesn't have to be a perfect edge break line, so I'm just going to go ahead and again put this on my drill plan layer. Okay, so we'll just come down here, put our drill plan. It's going to be a generic boundary. You can see that you can choose different types of boundaries. We'll deal with that later when we talk about Mass Hall, but this boundary is just a generic boundary. And we're going to do a polygon creation method. So I'm just going to start here, and we'll just create a boundary in this area in here, coming around our site. Okay, and we'll apply that. All right, so there's our boundary, and we're just going to go ahead and select that as our boundary line. I won't put a bench elevation in there, but if you wanted to bench this off, you could put that value in there. My origin point we'll just pick down here, and the orientation is going to be in this direction here. All right, now before we click OK and create the drill plan, we want to go and edit our settings. In the settings is where you define the drilling parameters. So here is just some generic display of the drill hole. So it's going to show a vector when I create this. It's going to display the hole length, the minimum hole length, as well as the maximum distance above the rock. The blast holes and the split holes is actually where you define the information about your drilling. So you got your hole diameter, your orientation, your inclination. So if we want to drill these at a 10% inclination, we can put that in there, or a 10-degree angle, I mean. You can do duplicate design tolerance, so if any points or drill holes are within a foot, it won't add that additional point. Then you can control the row spacing, so you can do it by distance or a factor of diameter. Let's say we want these every 20, and our column spacing, let's do 15, that's fine. And then you can do an extra hole edge tolerance with, if you're within greater than 6 feet, maybe you want to add another hole, you can put that in here. On the split holes, is along the edges where it's going to do the split between the the rock there. Again, the diameter, the inclination, and then the tolerances and the maximum hole spacing. You have controls for subdrilling, so you can include a factor of the row. You can do a percentage by length. You can include a blast hole constant, or include a split hole constant. Under quality is where you put in your diameter tolerance. So when you're actually bringing the data back in, you've got these tolerances. If it's not within these tolerances, it'll flag it to show you that it's been drilled properly or not drilled properly. So again, these more affect the data being brought in. And then for estimation, here's our quantity takeoff information. Is you put in your blast rate, so how many feet per hour, your split hole rate, how many feet per hour, the cost per hour, and then a supplemental cost factor for, let's say, fuel consumption or other consumables. So once those are set, it's pretty much just going in and clicking OK, and the software will create a drill holes, and it'll give me a plan that says I've got about 34 split holes, 386 blast holes, estimated drilling time, and an estimated cost to drill this project. All right, and that's just for the site area that we've defined in our boundary. Okay, so you can see the red represent our split holes, the blue represent our grid, our drill hole pattern. Okay, and you see the split holes that we're splitting the rock at this area here. All right, we've got them, going up the bank as well. Okay. So you can see we're only drilling up to that spot there because that's where we're cutting back into the original ground. So that's what we're blasting out. Now I can create another drill plan where we can use the corridor. So we'll call this drill plan road. We'll do the same thing. We'll put this on the drill plan layer. We will choose the corridor surface, which is our main road surface. Our rock surface is going to be rock here. The boundary, we can choose this boundary here, and we can do the beginning and end stationing. So we can just choose it if we only want to drill a portion of this, but we'll go from the beginning to the end. We can build benches as well, and then also edit the settings accordingly. So once we do that, we click OK, and it's going to create a drill hole pattern along our corridor. Again, giving us an estimate of what it's going to cost and how many holes in time. Okay. So now if you look at this drill pattern, you can see here where we got our split holes and we've got our drill pattern. All right. So now we've got two drill plans. We can send these out to our DPS 900, do the drilling, the information will be brought back in, and we can do a QA/QC check when we finish the drilling and blasting of this project.